Welcome back, Warriors! Oh, it worked. The summoning ritual.
It worked.
Brought JC back.
Totally worked.
Here we go.
The trick to know is that there's like a summoning circle under this couch, and we're sitting on some ley lines.
Oh yeah, that's why they built the room here.
So yeah, that's why they put the room here. So then I can teleport to here.
The juice.
It works really well. I even have a little magic wand.
Look at this. I like that we're just adding lore. Like I love just adding lore to our own dens, and this is great. So
that's how it works, right?
Yeah,
because I would just have my desk to like.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate the kind words.
I want to have like one or two extra pages, so I ran to my desk because it's pretty short.
Yeah.
So we'll see like how it is.
Okay, sounds good. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm getting in much better shape.
I'm taking a deep breath for
the
no
gym
reason
and the diet is.
So, JC,
I'm starting to see the results now.
Balancing.
Yes. So I'm using my little magic wand here that lets me summon balancing and patch notes out of thin air.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's see how it goes when I cast a spell like this.
How many pages are we getting? That is the question.
Well, first we have we have sprint speeds. Right? Nice. It's all it's doing. I didn't do anything. Okay. But basically, we have a bit of a global change. So all 4 of these heroes, so Conk, Kensei, Highlander, and Sohei, are getting in an 8% sprint speed.
Yo, let's go.
So really, the idea is all of these heroes, their sprint speeds were a little bit slow. And we're trying to bring them back up in line to help them rotations. This is super useful for Kensei and Highlander. I know like a lot of people are like, how about sprint speeds for Kensei? Well, then you get a sprint speed upgrade for
Huge
Kensei.
buff,
and then gets one too, and then Sohei gets one too, and Kong gets one as well.
Oh man,
it's good. It'll help them rotate a little bit better, get around with points, you kill people, you got to do stuff. So it's a big improvement for these heroes. They'll be like at the baseline of we have. It kind of establishes a new baseline for our slower heroes, but it still is fast enough that they're going to be a lot more competitive in that aspect.
Awesome.
Right? So let's cast a spell again to see what happens now.
Ooh.
Okay, so it's kind of... At least
there's more.
Because it's building up the pages.
I see.
So then if I press the button again...
It's just auto-writing things.
All right, cool. So Berserker, right? So Berserker gets a bit of a health increase. Goes to 130, up from 125. It's a hero like that is more built around trading. We had lowered the life total a little while back. We're trying to do adjustments here and there. But at 130, because you're trading a lot with Berserker, it makes sense to have that health a little bit more and to be able to be, again, a little bit more competitive and have a little bit more access to your offense without dying super quickly.
Awesome.
Cool.
We also have a small change for BP. So we've reduced the stamina drain of holding Bulwark Stance to 3.5 stamina per second, down from 5. So if you remember, at the last TU, we did a change where every single down stance drains stamina at 5 stamina per second, except for Virtuosa's postures that were at 7. So it's a bit of a play there. But essentially, on some heroes, so for Black Pirate, for example, we're gonna lower the stamina drain. We're lowering it, the stamina drain actually, because they have synergies or things they need to be able to do. Or in BP's example, right? If you're holding Bulwark Stance, there's 2 things. You get healing when you have your 2 feet. But also, all attacks are kind of enhanced against you. So it kind of makes it's not as effective as other ones.
Yeah.
You have to actively defend. So it's a little bit different. So because of this, we're reducing the stamina drain so that you can hold it a little bit more, heal a bit more, and use it a bit more proactively in this case.
Awesome.
Orochi as well gets a bit of a change. So zone attack can now cancel its recovery into a dodge at 200 MS, up from 100. So I'll explain this a little bit more in detail because it's a bit more complicated.
Sure. Whenever
we do dodge zone attack, well, actually every single attack, right? If I take an attack that's 500 MS, the way it works is it lands at 500. If the attack misses, it keeps going for 100 MS. We're doing this so that, let's say I swing at you and I miss, I still want the hitbox of the weapon, the trajectory, to be active after, so I can hit other people afterwards. If I hit you, logically, like the blade is going to stop in you, so that's how it's going to work, right? So it stops there. So, but if you miss, you get that extra 100 MS. On zone attacks, however, because we always want to be able to hit people past the person we're locked onto, you always have that extra time after the hit that it keeps being active. So because of this, we tend to try to line up dodge cancels and like chain timings and stuff so that they're exactly the same from whether you hit, you miss, or do whatever. And on zone attacks, because of that little extra time, they're always 100 MS earlier than they normally are. But for Orochi, on his zone attack specifically, that meant that he could dodge recovery cancel just a bit too early it made the move a bit too safe. So with this, we're slowing it down to 200, which is kind of like a little bit like usual. But if you compare it to other attacks on miss, instead of being at 200 on miss, it's gonna be at 300 on miss. It kind of gets to be this. So it's a little bit less strong. Still works, but a bit less effective.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because Orochi's S tier in 4v4s, right?
Here, perfect. So Highlander, right? So a buff and a nerf. A bit of a buff to health, so health up to 130, like we did for Berserker. Hero trades quite a bit in offensive form, so it kind of makes sense. But we've also removed the fact that his offensive form lights are enhanced, so they're no longer enhanced.
That's huge.
Meaning that if you end up like because a lot of gameplay with Highlander can become really frustrating with just spamming lights.
Yeah.
When you're in there, they're 400 MS, so they're super quick.
No more light spam.
Being enhanced, no. Never stop, so it doesn't really.
No
feel
more
good.
light spam.
So by removing the enhanced property there, you can get lucky or super skillful if you are, and they're able to block those lights. It'll kick him out of offensive form, and also like it kind of stops his offense a little bit more. So you have to be a bit more thoughtful when you use them. You can still use your heavies, use the rest of the stuff, but it makes a bit more sense here for Highlander.
Okay,
right,
very cool.
So did I? You think I went back to my desk just to rate this page?
I mean, maybe there's more.
Maybe there's more. Okay, let's.
You got it.
Oh, we got more.
Here.
We got more.
Oh, there's another page. It's loading up. All right. So Juren, right? So we said we had some Juren nerfs. So we do have a Juren nerf here.
Okay.
Yes.
We're touching is dodge attacks, right? So it's side dodge attacks. So Lion's Pound, which is the tapped version of his side dodge attacks, they are no longer enhanced. So they are interrupted on block.
Nice.
So
Oh, good.
we're trying this so that we want to try to keep the same kind of the difference between tap and hold for different timings and stuff. It kind of makes sense. We have Tiandi that already has that, and it's not necessarily super problematic. Yes, it's unblockable for the health version, and you can still feint it. So there's some of that. But the idea here is that if you see Juren side dodging, you can just put your guard on the direction of his dodge. If he does a tapped version, it'll bounce off of you. You're gonna gain from advantage. You can attack him first, and it kind of helps in that situation. So it doesn't mean that it's killing his dodge attacks. It just means that you are going to be a little bit in a little bit of a better position. And then if he does his held one, then you have time to kind of try to react and deal with the unblockable one, which does not change. So there's still a point in using the tapped version.
Good start.
They're the ones that change. So if you want to have your offense going and keep it going, you want to use a tapped version. But it's a little bit riskier. And
We can't nerf the character into the ground,
this
though.
can make some Juren players only want to use the held version.
I know you
And
guys
as soon
want
as
to
that
delete the
happens,
character.
Fainted GBs beats Juren like it's nobody's business.
Yeah.
It'll beat the held version. It'll beat the held dodge. So like if you dodge with that guard there, you'll still beat that as well. So it kind of it opens up a bit the options for the attacker to deal with a Juren that's dodge attacking doing that way. We're gonna keep an eye on it. If it's still not enough, we will do more changes to Juren to help bring him back down a little bit more, have a bit more baseline. We know there's a lot of frustration with his own attack, for example. We're trying to see like how can we like be a bit more proactive on the hero, change a little bit of stuff here and there. We've already seen from the nerfs we had at the last TU, this win rate dropped massively, so that's a good thing. It went back to like a lot more normal, so we'll see where that goes. But if we need to do more changes, we'll do more changes. It will not be a problem.
Awesome.
And second, just to finish on Juren, we've reduced the stamina drain for holding Indomitable Stance to 2 stamina per second instead of 5. His full block is arguably the worst full block in the game. The only thing that it does better than others is that it becomes active a little bit faster. There's no follow-ups out of it. There's nothing kind of special out of it. Everything's enhanced against it. But the idea with that move is to help players. We don't want it to be it's not a crush, but it's a learning tool. It's a way to, if you're unable to block lights, if you're having a hard time, you can use that to effectively block 400 MS lights and chains, to do a lot of different things that normally might be a bit more.
Yeah, that's
so
a fair
it's
change.
not meant to be, I use this all the time to block everything. It's not super useful, but because of this, we're reducing the stamina drain for it by quite a bit, like more than half. You can't babysit gank out of it, so it makes a bit of a difference here. But we still want you to be able to use it and still able to hold it, but just not as much and not infinitely as it used to be before.
Gotcha. Okay.
Next we have Nobushi, so small changes to Nobushi as well. Zone attack, second hit now costs 10 stamina down from 20. And then we also did a bit of a bug fix where the second hit of his own attack bleeds, but that bleed could not stack with other bleeds. So we fixed that issue so that now that bleed will actually stack. So you have more of an incentive to let go of that second hit and bleed people because, you know, Nobushi's a bit of a shark.
Yes.
And she has the ways of the shark.
Oh, I see what you did there.
So because she gets like extra damage on people that
I mean,
are bleeding,
she's top tier in group fights, right?
To bleed a little bit more with her.
Great. Awesome.
Finally, here we have Shugoki. So Charge of the Oni stamina cost has been reduced to 15 per second, down from 25. So this is why Shugoki did not get a speed increase, because he has Charge of the Oni, and we're buffing Charge of the Oni to give him, like, so you can stay running and be in that mode for a little bit longer. So you already have better rotations using that tool.
That's
so
better.
Good. You can still use
than just buffing his speed, sprint speed.
So do you want to try see if you can summon another page?
All right, magic wand.
But wait, there's more.
There's more.
There's more.
There's more.
Well, there's more. Let's look at what's more then.
Let's keep going.
Right? So
Shaolin,
shit. A little bit of nerfs to Shaolin, right? So key stance slights now deal 12 damage, down from 14.
Good.
And Sun Sweep follow-up now deals 20, down from 24. So the idea here, again, lowering the damage curve for Shinobi. We know there's like there's frustration with how much damage you can output out, save some of these moves are. We're starting with lowering the damage curve a little bit so that he's not going to kill you as fast, give you a bit more chances to deal with his mix-ups. And again, if this is not enough, then we'll figure it out and we'll fix it up and we'll do more changes in the future. So not to worry, but we wanted to do like this, to start with this, and then take baby steps and not just do like drastic changes to just kill heroes. That's never fun. No. So we're seeing where we can go in there.
Awesome.
Raider, right? So Raider is kind of interesting. Stampede charge, not cost 30 stamina. So again, move that you can do from sprinting and from running and stuff. So having it less stamina, you're more incentivized to use it. So that's good. But we also did something to reaping charge. So reaping charge is running attack, or what we call sprint attacks. It now gains uninterruptible stance at 400 ms.
Oh, okay.
Right? So it was like a very, very, very underutilized move. I was looking at like stats at some point and like barely nobody uses it. Mostly because it's super slow. It has a big range and everything, but it's so slow. And because it didn't get armor, you would get interrupted all the time. It didn't make any sense. Like, the numbers even for that were like really high. So by giving it armor there, you can use it to run into minions, run into other players with a little bit less risk, and you can still follow up your chains afterwards. That's kind of cool.
Nice.
Oh, the last one's
finally,
pretty good.
His finishers now chain to Raider's Fury. So the way Raider's flow works is you have Storming Tap that resets your chain. Whenever you do Storming Tap, your chain kind of resets, so it kind of works. But then your heavy finishers, you're not super incentivized to use them because you just stop.
Yeah.
And so you have to, you get a bit of frame advantage and stuff, but you still stop. And so because of this, it doesn't feel super good. So what we're doing is we're giving you the ability to chain to Raider's Fury, which is like a Raider's zone chain. Mm-hmm. So by doing this, you can now have a little bit new option, a bit more options, but on top of it, Raider's Fury also soft feints to Storming Tap. So you can kind of like reset your chain after using your finishers, which is also kind of a cool thing to do. It kind of feels like it gives Raider a lot of new life. It's super interesting. So I can't wait to see what players do with this.
I can't do the voice line if I'm not playing the Raider.
Amazing. And then Yorm, I'm sure I can't see chat right now.
I need to play the Raider to do the voice line.
But also because I know they're probably excited at some of these changes, right? So first up, might not be super excited at the first one, which is Serpent Smite now gains uninterruptible stance at 500 ms instead of 4. The issue we had with it at 400 ms is that it was a little bit too early. It's a feintable attack. You can do like really crazy shenanigans with it. So pushing it back at 500 makes it less useful as a trading tool to beat certain things. You're able to feint during the parry, like before the parry window and stuff. So it makes a bit of a difference, but it's a bit of a nerf. The rest though is all real good, right? So Hammer Slam, which I think is one of the most requested thing that we've ever had for Yorm, it does now gain uninterruptible stance at 100 ms.
Amazing.
So you want to Hammer Slam people? Now you can. The reason why we were kind of reluctant to give him one is, first we want to kind of differentiate it a little bit from Eagle's Talon, right? It's a little bit different. We want to have like their different moves, and if they're specifically exactly the same all the time, it might not feel super fresh, super interesting.
So a bit of a nerf and a buff.
On top of it, we wanted to see, we want to have a counterplay to this one. And so the counterplay to this one was you get peeled. Turns out that you get peeled really often, so that's a bit of a problem. There's a big call whenever you do it too, so it doesn't help there. But on top of it, your allies also like hit you through friendly fire. It's not that they want to, but it kind of happens. So we get interrupted more than what we would like. So we're like, you know what?
Why does Jormungandr look like he's been shot in the head? Like he's just been point blank shot in the forehead.
Bring Jorm back up. So it now has armor, so that's great. But it deals 2 less damage, so 28 instead of 30. Again, to balance things out a little bit, it'll land way more often. So like that little nerf and damage there kind of makes sense. And we also are nerfing the shield from Hammer's favor down to 20 from 25. So it's still useful. You still get like a big health swing, but at the same time, like because Hammer's time will land a lot more reliably now.
Pretty good changes.
That a little bit there.
Perfect.
Pretty good.
Right.
Pretty good.
That's it.
Solid.
That's it.
Were we done?
I don't know. Let me listen. Okay, I've been
feeding you more notes.
Yeah, I've been told that the
No way, there's more. Serious?
writing notes.
Sure. Yeah.
Because I didn't have the time to write all.
No.
Right? So
Holy
they
moly.
told me that there's another page now.
Okay, they added another. All right.
There's another
Great.
page.
Let's
So
take a look.
let's look at it. Right. Another.
God damn, I wasn't
I
expecting
wonder
this
if
much.
this segment will ever end.
I don't know. I don't know.
All right. So, well then there's things to Hitokiri, right? So, Hitokiri's health is now 130. Again, same kind of rhyme and reason we have with Berserker, with Highlander.
Yeah.
Trading hero kind of makes sense to have there. And then Sankotsu now has more forward movement. So that's her front dodge heavy. It still was useful as a roll catcher. It's just that it was a bit tricky to use because you have to delay the input. So you have to front dodge and then like tap heavy a little bit late to get a bit more momentum and catch people that are running away. But it made it a bit unwieldy to use. It was a bit too hard to use from what we wanted to do. So we just increased the forward movement. So now it should catch rolls a lot more reliably. Makes a lot of sense there.
Great.
That's great.
All right.
Katun, our favorite Hatun, our favorite Mongolian
Katun.
hero.
Very cool.
So 2 small changes. First is Fear and Fury stance. So that's when she runs at you, and you get scared. And,
Yes.
you kind of want to run away. Terrified. Some bad things happen in your pants when that happens, so you don't want to.
Oh, no.
So basically, when she runs at you, when she does Fear and Fury stance, she can now cancel Fear and Fury stance into a dodge at 300 ms, down from 500. So it gives her more safety, more options. If you see people dodge bashing, doing a lot of different things, you get like a bit more of an ability to dodge out of these things and to avoid certain situations that make you feel good. If you ever want to see, and I'll name drop, we spoke about this a little bit before. If you want to see what super high level Hatun looks like, I saw a couple of videos by Blitz that we had on last time. Amazing guy. If you want to see what it looks like when somebody's really, really, really good with Katun, go look at this because it's very impressive.
It's awesome.
And also we fixed her zone attack. The Garbage vulnerability on her zone attack was a bit too low. Like at 100 ms, it could beat Garbage attempts and stuff. So we put it back at a normal 433 ms, just like in a normal heavies. Makes sense to be there, but we did that little change after that makes sense.
Great.
Finally, on this slide, we have Sohei.
Boy.
So 2 small nerfs to Sohei. Sohei, ever since our last patch, has been doing way better, like immensely better. It's awesome. We're really happy to see people pick up Sohei again and do much better with it.
GB
So it was really
spam on
warranted. It's great.
Katun.
But there was still 2 small issues with his heavy openers and with Mad Monk. So the problem is that these attacks, because of their speed, when you got uninterruptible stance at 400 ms, it kind of ended up like 100 ms before you can feint. That creates situations where Sohei could trade with an incoming
What do you mean hyper?
feint, and then get a free GB every single time against their opponent, and then go boop, boop, boop. I have 3 souls, right?
Yeah.
So you could do this with heavy openers and with Mad Monk. That's problematic. It was a bit too strong. It made it a bit too easy to get your souls. And so we're fixing it so that it's at the normal timing regardless, which we don't really like to have armor start on openers before the feint timing to avoid.
No, it's pretty fair change, to be fair.
We ended up doing this, so it makes sense for Sohei on both, like I said, heavy openers.
Pretty fair change.
Nice.
Right. So let's just see. I don't know. Is there more?
I'm gonna say. Let's say yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Let's see if there's.
I'm gonna guess.
Jeez
There's
Louise, man.
I don't know. It might be empty.
Could be.
Never
That'd
ended.
be weird.
Let's just like I'm gonna call on the ley line and stuff and
All
see
right,
if
go
something
ahead.
happens.
Go ahead.
And-
Summoning.
There we go. Oh.
Hey.
Ooh, Virtuosa.
Virtuosa nerfs and a side buff, but still. So Virtuosa, right? Her sideways misdirect can now be performed during dodges from 2 to 400 ms, down from 2 to 6. There's a reason why it was 2 to 6. It's because since Virtuosa's kit all revolves around the stance of her previous attack, right? You kind of decide what posture you go in based on the side of your previous attack. What ended up happening is we wanted to give her the ability to choose which posture to go to on every single dodges and whatever. But that means that you have to potentially side dodge, and because it forces the guard or whatever, you have to like re-switch your guard to the stance that you want. The timing that we had was kind of short, and so we decided, you know what, like let's put it at 600. So this way it gives you a bit more time, it's a bit more comfortable to perform that input.
Yeah.
The problem this caused, however, is that because of this, and because she gains iframes, like every single dodge attack in the game gains iframe during their strike, you could dodge and then delay your attack super late and then regain iframes later into your dodge. So it gave you like different dodge timings so that you avoid things that you're not supposed to be able to avoid. So we're putting it back at the normal timing from 2 to 4. So this way, it makes a bit more sense into like how she times stuff, and kind of makes like it makes it a bit better.
I mean,
it's
it's pretty fair, right?
To pick the stance that you want, but at the very least, you'll still be able to do stuff, and it'll be less oppressive when you fight against it.
It just puts her in line.
Also lowered the stamina drain per second when she holds posture to 5 per second instead of 7. Again, a bit of a quality of life here for Virtuosa. At 7, it was a little bit too high. We looked at the data. We looked at a bunch of stuff. It was a bit too high. So at 5, it's still drained, so you still can't stay in posture indefinitely, but at least you can stay in it a little bit longer.
Great.
Works out fine. And then we have Pirate, right? So Pirate, guaranteed pistol blast, deals 4 damage instead of 5. You might be going, that's a 1 damage difference.
That's just like 20%.
It's 20% still, right?
Yeah,
that's the magic of math and numbers.
I love math.
Right?
Yeah, that's 20%.
Say a lot of things. 20% of something can be 1 or it can be 2. That's good. But yeah, so we're lowering the damage a little bit of guaranteed pistol blast, like trying to lower Pirate's damage curve a little bit more, so that makes sense. But we're also doing something interesting with pistol blast after walk the plank and walk the plank itself, right? So if you look at this, pistol blast that's done after walk the plank now deals 15 damage instead of 5, so 10 more.
Okay.
But walk the plank deals 12 instead of 24, so 12 less. So basically, you deal 2 damage less when you're using walk the plank and pistol blast. But also, interestingly, the damage is no longer front loaded.
That's interesting.
So your main source of damage, well, they're almost similar, but your main source of damage is coming from pistol blast, not from walk the plank. And the reason we did this is that walk the plank, if you do nothing, if you land it and you do nothing, like Pirate does a little bit of a knee, you know, and then your opponent gets pushed back, and they can get wall splatted. They can like hit a wall.
Right.
And so, because of that, the damage that she could output off of 24 off of walk the plank, plus getting a wall splat, then dealing an attack, it was way too high. So by lowering this, it lowers the total output of this by at least 12, makes it a little bit better, gives you more of an incentive to use pistol blast. So it we're kind of backloading the damage onto the pistol blast instead of being front loaded on walk the plank, and it becomes more of a choice of what do you do in what situation, while still lowering your overall damage curve in general, because even if you do walk the plank into pistol blast, you still deal a little bit less damage than you did before. Right? So that's kind of like the logic around this. It makes sense. We'll be able to see like how Pirate ends up being. She's still very, very strong.
Yeah.
At top level, she has a lot of fully unreactable 50-50s. So we're looking at what else we can do to help address those, but it still makes a bit of a difference here.
Great.
The Jormungandr changes in mostly
my
nerfs.
ear are telling me there might be more.
All right.
Let's see.
Holy shit.
Ooh, another page.
Holy juice.
These goblins,
Juice.
So many pages.
They're working so like hardcore. I'm gonna have to figure out like a little
Juicy
GIF
patch
on them,
notes.
I think so. Yeah.
should be good.
Take it on.
All right, so Tiandi. So side dragon dodge. It's now vulnerable to guard break for 533 MS, up from 400. So Tiandi's been like really, really good in duels.
Oh, Spook will be happy with that.
Excellent staller, really, really fantastic defense. But the defense is a little bit too high. So because
I just know
of
that
this,
Spook's
we're
happy with that.
making sure that you can guard break side dragon dodge a little bit more effectively. But we're also making it so that you can dodge, you can perform it later into your dodge, right? It's more in line with the other timings of the other heroes where we do these attacks. The thing is that if you fully delay it, now you have a 1033 MS window to get guard broken. So it's still useful. You can still do these things. but the odds of you getting guard broken in group fights and stopped is a lot higher. So it'll make a big difference here into the safety of Tiandi when he's trying to stall here. We know feats are also a bit of an issue with Tiandi. We're looking at those to help drive his survivability in those group fights and that stalling ability.
Yeah, the dodge light change is good.
We've also been doing a small buff to his zone. So again, stamina cost improvements, 20 instead of 30 for his own attack first hit. All makes sense.
The amount of times I tried to dodge attacks a bash and got hit with a bash.
I'm sure people who can read are jumping for joy right now.
Oh,
her light
wow.
openers are back to being enhanced.
Yay.
Right? So
oh boy.
we had removed the enhanced ability of those attacks because we wanted to make sure that Warmonger had to work a little bit more to get into her offense. Turns out that it was too much of a blow to Warmonger. And so I will be the first one to admit,
huge, man.
you know what? Sometimes we made these changes. We can make mistakes or we make bad reads. Sometimes we have to try these things. And sometimes it has to take a little bit of time before we go, you know what? The results of this are good or bad. And we have to give players time to adapt as well to see how they can do these things. In Warmonger's case, turns out that she really, really, really needs them. It's okay. It was something that we tried. I don't have any issues with us rolling it back. It's okay. It makes sense. And so it's back so now, so people are going to be happy. The rest of her chain, though, doesn't change. So whenever she does her claws, she still goes to her finishers, but their light finishers are still in hand. So the whole thing kind of still works. You can still vortex out of stuff. So everything kind of still makes sense. It'll be a little bit easier to get into your offense.
Great.
We're also changing Vicious Impale Claw on unbalanced, out-of-stamina opponents. So just to give a bit of context here, if you're not super familiar with how this kind of works,
makes it more useful.
When you parry somebody that is out of stamina, you always unbalance them. They fall on the floor. For the vast majority of our casts, it means extra punishes. You do more damage because they fell down. You get more guaranteed attacks. So there's heroes that get like 2 heavies, a bunch of damage on there. The problem with Warmonger is that if you parry somebody that's out of stamina, they unbalance. If you tap your heavy button, you do Vicious Impale on the ground.
Right.
Yeah,
but that only dealt 30 damage, like 10 plus 20 bleed. That is significantly lower than a lot of parry punishes there. So what we wanted to do is
10 plus 32, huge,
because normally if you're like the optimal punish in these cases usually a light into a heavy, you get like different things that so you can deal more damage than that. We kind of upped the damage to 10 plus 32 bleed instead of 10 plus 20
fucking
bleed
huge
to compensate for the fact that it deals less damage and you get into less stuff. So if you make the mistake or if you don't know what the optimal punish is, well, you do get a better punish now regardless, which is still pretty good. It works out fine, and it helps Warmonger deal a little bit more in those situations with less specific crazy knowledge that you need to know of like optimal punishes and everything.
Yeah.
And then finally, we've
happy
also
with
nerfing the damage of Beast of Prey, which is your side dodge heavies, down to 22 instead of 24. They're very, very, very strong dodge attacks, like have big trajectories, the whole thing. So it makes sense to nerf that a little bit.
Great.
In that regard.
Awesome.
So, okay, well, I can go home.
Can you?
I don't know.
I
think
so.
I think I'm reusing this bit a little bit too much.
Maybe.
So you know, it's not in comedy. You have to like. There's a rule of 7, I think, or something.
It's a rule of 7. Is that?
Yeah.
That's the rule of comedy.
But it doesn't quite work anymore. So let's just see. There's more badges.
All right. There's more pages.
There's more stuff, right? So
Jeez
Lawbringer.
Louise.
So basically, almost
nerfs.
only nerfs to Lawbringer. Lawbringer has been performing really, really well. Super strong hero.
Thank God for that.
Always shows up a bit in like frustration levels of players. So we're doing a couple of things.
Very
right?
frustration.
So first, all of his side light attacks are no longer enhanced.
Good.
So that was a relic from Lawbringer in the past where he kind of needed to have those to be able to get into offense.
Yeah.
That's when also like his top light from neutral is 400, for example, right? So there's a lot of those like old relics that are not really necessary anymore. Lawbringer does not need side enhanced lights whatsoever. There's a lot. He has a lot of good ways to get into offense, so it's a bit overwhelming. So we're removing those straight up.
Nice.
Then we're looking at the damage curve for all of his top heavies, so opener, chain, and finisher, and we're all lowering them. They all get a guaranteed little like light bump afterwards. So the damage was a bit too high on all of these. It also reset his chain. So by lowering the damage by 2 from the opener and the finisher, and
Decent.
by 1 opener and chain, and then 1 for the finisher, it kind of helps when you're playing against Lawbringer to go, you know what, like I'm gonna take a bit less damage. It's gonna be okay. Lawbringer has to work a little bit better. So
it probably goes down to 80 now,
and then
right?
finally, Impaling Riposte is now feintable. So maybe going, why is it feintable?
Still strong.
Matter? So the thing here is that it's a small change that we're trying to go, you know what, I can't really use it because it's no longer guaranteed off of a heavy parry. So it's a free parry and a free block. Now, with it being feintable, it's really niche. And I can see it happening once in a while with somebody that you've kind of like, you know, if you've conditioned them enough or whatever, that you can do, hey, I did a heavy parry, I'll do Impaling Riposte, feint into GB, and then get a bigger GB punish.
Yeah.
So
that's
it's meant
nice.
to mix up a little bit. We know it will not be like the end-all, be-all. It's not the strongest attack in the game.
It's nice to have,
but it's still
though.
something like a little bit of juice as a bit of an experiment. We're trying to go, does this actually do something? Is this going to be interesting? So we'll leave it in the hands of you, our players, to tell us if this is interesting or not.
Great.
Also, like small change on Shinobi. So Super Sprint now costs 10 stamina to activate, up from 0. So we're removing the Shinobi Tokyo Drift style thing. So basically, like, with costing 10 to activate, you can't just like mash it infinitely and just go, hey, I'm going crazy. So it's a bit of a nerf.
Gotcha.
Okay, good.
Shouldn't impact him too much.
That's fine.
Funnily enough, this is a bit of a secret. Don't tell anybody.
I won't tell him.
Except the 2,000 people that are watching.
Maybe, yeah.
So, Shinobi, when he super sprints, he's not that much faster than a
Whoa.
regular sprint.
What are you? You're breaking the fourth wall now.
It just looks really cool.
It really does cool.
It looks
real
cool.
run.
It is a little bit faster,
Love it.
but it's not massively faster.
Okay.
So it's just like, just to let people know it's a bit of a secret.
Okay, all right.
Inside information. It's a bonus you get for having watched this.
This is it. Yeah, there you go.
Or watching it as a vlog or something.
Yeah. All right, only now.
Okay. Is there more? Yes, there's more.
Oh, my
Afeera.
days.
So, Afeera's gravity pull, we can now dodge it 400 ms before the hit. It used to be
Okay.
300. So we opened up the
That's
dodge
the first
window
feat, right?
for gravity's pull, so that it makes it a little bit easier to dodge. It's a very, very good opener, running to opponents, like doing that thing, all that stuff. So it's great. But being able to dodge a little bit earlier makes it a tiny bit less threatening, so it helps.
Sure.
We also are changing Speeding Comet, which is our tier 3 feat, right? So the problem with Speeding Comet is that basically you could just, I see red, I pop feet, I kill. So with this, we're doing a bit of a change so that, first of all, you can dodge it a little bit later, like we did for Gravity Pull, so that's great. But when it's performed at close range, so like if you're really close to somebody and you don't need to run towards them, you only get your full block at 400 ms instead of at 0. So you can no longer just see red, press button, and beat everything. So that's the first thing. The second part of this is that when you use the feat and you trigger Fleet Foot, which is kind of like the running animation that she has that she runs towards you, the attack will gain full block only after 400 ms that you are in Fleet Foot. So you have to run for at least 400 ms before that full block starts. Again, to help defend against these kind of like...
What do you mean nobody plays Afeera? Are you
That
crazy?
makes a bit of a difference here. And on top of this, Fleet Foot now has a minimum duration of 400 ms. So if you're close and you would run only normally for less than 400 ms, you will still keep running for 400.
Afeera nerfs
to make
always
sure
welcome.
that full block window stays static at 400. So it kind of helps play against her a little bit more, and that you can't exploit going, hey, I'm going to be just outside the range to get my full block to come up just a little bit earlier.
I mean,
so this is a way for us to prevent these.
she's always been
happening
solid character.
and remove that.
She always will be.
Feet on red type of thing, which is not super interactive.
It's just her design is very good.
Gotcha.
All right.
So she'll always be
Now
strong.
we have more changes.
Holy moly.
Gladiator, right? So
What?
it's a bit of a rule change for Boleadoras. It will also apply to another feat we'll talk about later. But we'll start
okay.
with this, right? So it now
That's the
Boleadoras now
Paracainer, isn't it?
respects hit stun rule. Boleadoras is a projectile that pins. So
Oh, okay. Never mind.
the issue that we have with the anti-yank stuff and stuff is that it was like a bit more complicated. Where if you could still kind of reset hit stun using Boleadoras. So
Feat
it kind of
changes.
created issues. So we fixed this entirely. So now, this is the rules, right? Because there's a bit of an exception here. So I need you to listen, everybody at home, listen really carefully. If the victim was idle, right? So if you're just there standing or you're not in a hit stun or whatever, if you get hit by Boleadoras, it's as normal. You enter first hit stun. And then per the regular rules, anybody else that hits you gets 25% damage reduction. But if you, as the Gladiator, hit that person, you deal full damage. So it's exactly as normal. Nothing changed there. Then if the victim was already in first hit stun, they enter second hit stun, and they get 75% damage reduction from anybody. Yeah, that's good. But unlike traditional second hit stuns, you can still be pinned by other attackers. So normally when you're in second hit stun, you can no longer be pinned whatsoever. Right. In the case of Boleadoras specifically, you can still be pinned. What this lets us do is, let's say I'm here, I'm Glad, and you are Lawbringer, right? Sure. Because you like to play Lawbringer.
Of course, yeah.
Well, you play Nusha, but you also play Lawbringer.
I play a few, yeah.
Play a few, right? So we're kind of 2 against 1. You hit an opponent. I Boleadoras them while they're in hit stun. You do an impale, and you will still be able to pin them and then ledge them or get them to the wall or something. So it kind of helps the combo ability of these things a little bit more. Because it's a projectile, because it's a feat, it's nothing you can spam constantly. We wanted to keep a bit more utility there to have something kind of cool happen.
I bump into Afeera quite a lot, but I think that's because I'm mainly Jules.
If the victim was
She's strong
already in
Jules
second hit
character.
stun, it will not pin or bind at all. Okay. So that respects the entire rules there. So that's the idea here for Boleadoras. It's a bit of a change here. I know it's a lot to take in. I can't wait to see people experiment with it and see what they can do with it.
Great.
But
More
wait,
changes.
Holy
Centurion. So we're finally
moly.
reintegrating Centurion's feats from the testing ground.
Nice, huge.
Everybody rejoice, dance for joy, whatever you do. Take a sip of water. I don't know.
Jesus,
but let's
these
keep going.
patch
Right?
notes are crazy.
You've probably seen most of these, but I'll still go through them like quickly. Tier 1 feat is on Amplified Roar. So whenever you land the Lion's Roar finisher, so it's guard breaking to 3 lights, you will always unbalance enemies. You'll see there's a bit of a theme with unbalancing an Eagle's Talent, right? So that works well. It's a passive, works super good. Tier 2 feat, Eagle's Windfall. So whenever you land an Eagle's Talon, you reduce your enemy's attack and you increase your ally movement speed and an AoE around your target.
Such
so the
big
reason why
changes
it
coming
gets
tomorrow,
both,
man.
and they're both kind of disconnected a bit, but it still makes sense, right? If you use this in a situation where you're outnumbered, you increase your survivability. That's great. If you use it in a situation where you're alone or you're with your team and you finish off the last person, it boosts up your speed and your allies' speed so you can rotate faster. So it's meant to kind of enhance the end of ganks and also to enhance your survivability when you're outnumbered. So overall, you always benefit from this feat when you land an Eagle's Talon. Regardless of the situation, you just get more benefit if you have like more allies or if there's more enemies around. You get a little bit more, but it still all kind of works out really well. So we wanted to make sure that the feat is always useful no matter what happens.
Great.
Now, since tier 3, Vainglorious Pugio, right? So throws a projectile that binds, and if you perform a Legion kick on the bound target, it unbalances them. It deals 15 damage.
That's cool, man.
This is the other feat I was talking about. That also
I might play some Centurion 4v4s this weekend.
Same with Vainglorious Pugio. So it's Pugio that gives you an unbalance, that gives you an Eagle's Talon, that grants you Eagle's Windfall, right? Everything works together. Synergies all around. And the one that really changed from the testing grounds is Refined Phalanx. So Refined Phalanx,
going to fix his bug with
now gives all your allies a moderate amount of
fully
shield
charged
and
heavy and
cleanses
bash?
them of any negative status effects. It grants a 50 shield for 10 seconds, and it's on a 180-second cooldown. So when we did this previously, it healed, if I remember correctly, but it also cleansed. And so the utility, a lot of what we heard was, I like the old Phalanx better because it gave everybody shields. Right. So we're like, you know what? We're going to get both.
Okay.
Right? It's like the little meme of, why not both?
Yeah,
so this is both. So you get a shield and you get the cleanse. And the beauty of this as well. Nolan, do you like to play Breach?
I mean, I do. Yeah.
Do you like when the king gets corruption applied on them?
I really
No
don't.
breach.
No.
Well, if you have a
No
sense,
breach, man.
no.
Oh man. All right.
Right. So this is
Since
great. Right.
in the
So,
meta now.
so it helps work.
I don't
It
like
helps in those
breach.
situations as well.
I get that
cleanse,
people do though.
It cleanses literally every single negative status effect.
That's awesome.
There's a Juren on the other team that popped their tier 4, pop yours. That defense debuff only applies to their own team now. So
that's it.
this is
There
what
is a
happens.
second
right?
page.
Spicy hard
That's how you live.
That's why I'm hoping
so
for
there's
the
a lot
bug
of that
fix.
stuff now that kind of helps with create new synergies between heroes and kind of feels really good. So that's really good.
I'm hoping for the bug pit.
So now, so Eagle's Talent also
No,
like
never
reduce the
mind.
damage to 28, mostly because of that first feat, you know, the pop there. We don't need to have a 30 damage plus a bunch of buffs.
What's a
speed.
breach?
So we're lowering it down a little bit more, so it makes sense. We also looked and we heard all your feedback when we did the testing grounds regarding alternate feats. So we picked alternate feats that make sense with Centurion, which means that some of them are no longer there. But we'll look at them, right? So alternate feat ones are Bounty Hunter, Inspire, Second Wind, and Stalwart Banner. And alternate feats 2 are Body Count, Executioner's Respite, Sharpened Blade, and Catapult. You'll notice Haymaker is no longer there. We were doing a lot of that feat rework to remove Haymaker. Yeah, in large part. Because Haymaker is
Second Wind on feat 1.
It creates a lot of balancing issues, creates a lot of problems. So we rather have Haymaker out and have better feats, and it lets us, it opens up our design space for Centurion really to do different things, so it's really good there. Nice.
Cool. I'm looking forward to trying
Next up,
them.
we have Peacekeeper. Also gets feats from testing grounds.
Holy shit.
Fear not. Induced fear is not the same as it was in the testing ground, so you don't have to worry.
Okay, all right.
I'm thinking ahead to try to do like puns.
Let's see what we do.
It works.
I wonder if we're going to get Berserker as well.
Tier 1 feat, crossbow wound, same as our old tier 3 feat, but placed as a tier 1. It's active, shoots a crossbow, deals direct bleed damage, deals 1 + 10 bleed over 10 seconds, 30-second cooldown. Really helps you apply bleed externally because Peacekeeper suffers externally when you can't apply bleed. It's a bit harder.
Wow.
That's going to change that is a bit of a misconception. She has arguably the best peel in the game. It's not obvious to go, you know what? If I'm playing Peacekeeper, what I'm supposed to do is wait for my target that I'm external to make a mistake and then peel them and then bleed them. But it's not super obvious. And if you're playing against somebody that's extremely defensive, you still can't do it. Okay. So we want to have ways to be able to open them up. There might be something else.
Oh, man.
Okay. Tier 2 feet, bleed armor, right? So if you land a hit on a bleeding target, you get a defense buff for a short duration. So every time you hit somebody that's bleeding, you get 25% damage reduction for 10 seconds. Again, synergizes really well with her bleeds. Makes a lot of sense. Super good. Awesome. Tier 3 feet is Sanguine Serrations. So it's her own version of Sharpened Blades. Whenever you pop it and it's active, all your attacks apply bleed. They do 10 additional bleed over 5 seconds.
The game's going to feel so different tomorrow, man.
But it also has a passive side of it. When the feat is on cooldown, every time you hit a target that's bleeding, you shave off 5 seconds off of the feat's cooldown. So it's super cool. Every time that kind of happens, you're able to pop Sanguine Serrations, bleed somebody like crazy, stack a bunch of bleed. Once that's done, keep hitting them like crazy. She gets her kit opens up quite a bit when your opponents are bleeding, so it kind of works well there. And you can shave off quite a bit of the duration of the cooldown, and you can repop it again, so that works well. Finally, Induced Fear. So in the TG, what we did here is you get it. It's
page 2,
right? It kind of was interesting. It had some side effects that we weren't super happy with, so we're putting it back to being active. So it's basically our own fear itself, but there's a bit of a twist here, which is every time Peacekeeper kills an enemy while the feat is active, it'll reset the duration of Induced Fear. So it's active for 20 seconds. It gives a 30% defense debuff, so it's kind of like as normal. But let's say I pop it. I land but Peacekeeper has to land the killing blow, right? She lands the killing blow. At 1 second left, gets back to 20 seconds. You still have it back.
What do you guys think of these changes?
You want to let Peacekeeper kill people because you can chain it for quite a long time and make sure it's active for longer. But you have to let her land killing blows, which is not always the easiest thing. Her damage curve is a little bit lower. So let her do her work. It's super cool. It works well. You can still participate in ganks if you want.
She's going to be so much better with falls now, man.
Great. But now there's something else with Peacekeeper. The first line here is something that I know a couple of players that visited us a couple times have been asking me about for a bit of time. Let's just say it that way. We're going to be nice. They're nice to us. We're nice to them. But basically now Dagger Cancel, when it's performed off of a top heavy attack, is now unblockable.
Damn, man.
You know, I was saying that it's kind of hard to apply bleed to people.
I was one of those people, by the way.
Well, then
I was there.
Not anymore.
The thing is, this is really not that good when
I was a visitor.
Because the timing, the parry timing overlaps, everything kind of overlaps. It's still unblockable, so you can't just block top and deal with it. But it's a lot easier to deal with.
Right.
The thing is, as you'll remember, we tried to do testing rounds with bashes, with Peacekeeper and stuff. And ultimately, the issue with that bash is, if we do a fast bash, there is literally no point to having dagger cancel. Like it kind of eliminates the need for it. Outside of it costs a bit more stamina. Even then, it's kind of debatable. So we put it as a slower
She's going to be so
bash.
fun to play now.
You know what?
Well,
Like
she's
it's a
fun
tool
anyway,
that
but
you use externally. But then it was slow. Nobody really liked it. I've seen some people like calling for it back. And
it's tough, yeah. But the mix-up is to go
more
into guard
elegant
break as well,
solution
obviously.
to the
So
problem. So we're going with this. Makes a lot of sense. Super.
no,
good.
you say people will parry it, but that's where you mix up
with
by
Centurion,
softening
right,
it to guard break.
They're
Top heavy into guard break. You're going to catch people going for the parry.
So alternate feat ones are stealth, fiat looks, put no more this catapult, and 2, she still has bounty hunter. If you use red
That's where the
punch
opener
through,
is.
which is new on her, she can still deal a bit of damage if people are not bleeding or whatever. And then finally, last laugh here for Peacekeeper.
Super cool.
Super cool, right?
Nice.
All right, is there more? Let's just,
I think
I'm getting to be out of breath a bit, but we'll see what happens.
been here a bit.
More
Yeah, but you soft feint the top heavy into guard break, and you'll catch people going for the unblockable parry.
Deals 8 damage per tick, down from 10. So it's a bit of a nerf. Makes sense. Corruption is super, super strong.
Yeah.
It'll give you a bit more survivability when you're fighting against a Warmonger or a Nusha that plays.
Oh, there you go. There's your Nusha. Wait,
and
that
then
is
finally,
Nusha, right?
last laugh deals
no.
20 to
I'm wrong.
100
Never
damage,
mind.
down from 20 to 140.
Okay.
The big change here is that if you're over 100 HP, last laugh
I
can
misread.
no longer kill you. So that's a big thing, right? Before 140, it could still kill you. So we want to lower the effectiveness of last laugh as so that it's
Zero
not
vault
hey, you kill
changes?
me, I win. It really feels bad. It doesn't feel super interactive. It's not super fun. So by not guaranteeing that it always kills, it makes a bit more sense. And
Yeah,
again,
this is a
see
juicy
where
patch
all of
notes.
that evolves and goes into the future.
Incredible.
Let's go to the next page because there's one more.
Okay.
Bug fixes. These are bug fixes that affect balancing. So that's why
Centurion.
we're putting them here.
Yeah.
It's also why we're kind of renaming the segment to balancing now. 'Cause it's
Centurion
more
fix,
focused on
please.
balancing specifically. Our patch notes often have way more stuff in them. Whenever we're doing new features or whatever, we put that in the patch notes. So we're kind of changing this to balancing. But no worries, I'll always still be here to read you the patch notes for 6 hours.
There you go.
So Afeera and Pirate, right? They both have feats where you launch a projectile that kind of bounces between opponents. The thing is that, let's say you have 2 opponents and you have an ally in the middle of them, and as Afeera or as Pirate, you shoot it at the first one, it'll bounce, but it will hit the person in between them, and then it'll bounce within your allies, which is not something you want to see ever. But it still applied the debuff when this happened, and so that felt overly punitive to those feats. So we're removing the ability for that to apply a debuff to kind of have this. And then finally, we have also fixed the bug that we have with Centurion that guaranteed a jab after a charge heavy.
There we go. That's the one I
It was caught
wanted.
a little bit too late, and it was a bit too tricky to fix, as a live patch and everything. So we had to wait until now to be able to fix it properly and get the right things. But no worries, Centurion no longer
Good
gets
stuff.
this. So this is good to go.
That's the bug
Super
fix
cool.
I wanted.
Good to go, right? So that's it basically for patch notes. So there was
Oh, is that it?
balancing, rather, yes.
Is that
Thank you,
it?
Max, the amazing Max, as always,
Fucking
back.
hell, man.
But that's it for balancing. So it's
Is that
quite
it?
awesome. I'm super
Are
happy.
you good? Are you okay?
I'm okay, dude. I'm okay. It's
Because that was a lot.
that was a lot. That was
That was a lot.
Really, I want giant kudos to the balancing
Sure,
team, to the game
absolutely.
design team. They worked super
Yep.
hard on this. Nell did a lot of that stuff. So really,
Those were
you guys are doing
juicy
an
patch
amazing
notes.
job.
Holy shit.
I'm just here presenting them. Well, I also have a bit of a hand in
Yeah.
talking about it and stuff. But
It's a team effort.
so it's a team effort, so it's great. But really, thank you guys, and I really hope everybody enjoyed these. There's a lot of stuff to dig through. I'll be looking at the VOD to look at chat and see how much they love me or hate me, and it'll be fun. So, but that's it. So that's it for balancing.
Well, JC, thank you so much again. Always a pleasure to have you on to talk balancing, to see all the insights into this.
I'm always happy to be here.
Amazing. So cool. Well, folks, so we hope you enjoyed that. But stick around because coming up next, we have the community corner. And in between, we have a fun little video showing all of the amazing glory weapons that you can loot starting tomorrow with the new title update drop. So don't go anywhere.